Good afternoon to all the participants. We are very happy that Dr. C. Shailendra Babu sir will be joining us in few moments from now. And
Yes, come.
I think sir is on the line. And we would be starting the session sharply at 11:30. And I request all the panelists to put forward the questions as regularly done, and we will try to sir will try to answer as much as possible. Good morning, respected sir. Dr. C. Shailendra Babu sir needs any introduction to anyone, all the participants. He is a well-decorated officer of Indian Police Service, and he completed his education from Annamalai University, University of Madras, and Tamil Nadu Agriculture University. He was born in Kuduthurai in Kanyakumari district, and he attended his school at Government Higher Secondary School at Kuduthurai, Kanyakumari district. He has done his BSc Agriculture degree from the Agriculture College, and he was also awarded the PhD by Annamalai University. We have today with us sir, who is, as I said, I don't think that you require an introduction about sir. He is going to talk on the topic, good teacher to a great teacher. We have got 900 plus participants as of now, and more are joining. We should be having 1,000 plus participants today in this program. And we have got teachers from all over the country in this session. And we are once again welcome Dr. C. Shailendra Babu sir, IPS, Director General of Police, to this webinar session. Over to sir.
Thank you, Ajit. Thank you for this brilliant opportunity. Thank the Association of Self-Financing Arts, Science and Management Colleges of Tamil Nadu. I like to tell that I'm extremely delighted to get connected with 1,000 college teachers, people who teach arts, science, commerce, and management. It's a very, very special honor, and I will be, once again, I'd like to thank Sedupati this year, Ajit, for this very special opportunity. I know it's a very, very tough time. The world is undergoing now all over the world. Coronavirus has hit us hardly, and we are seeing what's the difficulty. Even schools and colleges are continuously closed, exams not be held, and we are also in the lockdown for more than 50 days. Tough times. But we have seen much population in the world has died. We have seen the worst depression. We have seen famines, very, very bad famines, as late as in 1943, the Great Bengal famine. So all these tough, difficult times, we were under a foreign rule, and there was a freedom struggle. During this freedom struggle, very strong people emerged. Tough situations produce powerful leaders: Mahatma Gandhi, Nehru, Sardar Patel, Rabindranath Tagore. Great people like this have emerged. B.R. Ambedkar, Kamaraj, great people have emerged when the situations are very bad. So it is an opportunity for every one of us, every one of the teachers, to reform, to come out as a more powerful, much more resourceful, great teacher at this point in time. It's only an opportunity. I remember having read a book called Finding the Meaning of Life. I don't know how many of you read this book. I strongly encourage you to read this book. This book was written by Franklin, Victor Franklin. Victor Franklin was a Jew. He was a doctor. He was in prison. He was in the jail. He was in the concentration camp of the Nazi Germany. A lot of people died. Millions of people died. An estimated 6 million Jews have died. And in his own camp, 1,000 people died. More than 1,000 people died. And he didn't die. He was one of the very few survivors. He came out and wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning. Man's Search for Meaning. My dear teachers, this is the time, the lockdown period, to search for the meaning of our own lives. If you try to search for the meaning, you will find it. You will find your life much, much more interesting. You will find yourself to be a great teacher. He says that even in these tough times, life never ceases to have meaning. He says, life never ceases to have meaning, even in suffering and in death. There are a lot of people who wrote beautiful poems, stories, when they are about to die, when they are undergoing serious ailments like cancer. At the last moment, they are written very hopeful, helpful passages, helpful quotations. So, Franklin Victor says, meaning in life is found in every moment of our life. Even during the lockdown period, we can find a meaning as a teacher. So at this point in time, I'll only tell you that such tough times will never last. After a few days, lockdown will be lifted. Colleges will open. Students will come to the college. Things will come to the normal. So tough situations are not going to last, but tough people, they do last. So every one teacher has to be a tough person, like the freedom fighters, like the great people who have shown the way. So at this point in time, I will only encourage you to ask 5 questions. Every teacher may ask 5 questions to yourself. The most important question a teacher, a professor, educator should ask is, who am I? Who I am is a very, very fundamental question. I'm not talking about the metaphysics to find out who you are, that you are a great soul, that the soul will come and go and you go to somewhere. No, I'm not asking that. I am very poor on that discipline of metaphysics. What I'm asking is the reality, in real terms, who you are. If you ask a Japanese, who are you? He will say, I'm a Japanese. When you ask the question, who I am only referring to what you are doing. Great civilizations, Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, or the Chinese civilization, or the much more distant civilization of the Sumerians. All these civilizations have evolved based on the profession of the people. A person was doing agriculture, somebody was doing weaving, somebody was doing education. So from this job, profession only, a civilization has survived. Even today the world is purely depending upon the profession of the people. Information is very, very important today, because this is also information age. So we are talking to each other through the product of information technology, through information technology. So what is your job? That's the most important thing. If you read a management book by Peter Drucker, the management guru of the last century, he says this world is revolving again around the job of the people. All doctors, they have an association. All heart surgeons will have an association. All pilots will have an association. All college management, private or other self-financing colleges, they have an association. What does it show? Profession. So what's more important in your life is your job. The job you are doing is what you are. Ask this question. The basic question, do you really love the job? This is the basic question a teacher must ask himself again and again and again. Do I love teaching? No matter what's your salary. Let me tell you, for a teacher, the money that you get is not at all the income. Teachers actually don't work for the income, they work for the outcome. What they are able to see in the students' faces, how much skill they have learned. This is a measure of your income. So you are a teacher. Number 2, the question you must ask is, where do I come from? This is a critical question. You must always keep it in mind, your family, your father, your mother, your brother and sisters, your friends, your ecology, they're very important people in your life. And what do they expect from you? They want to hear a lot of things about you. They want to know that you are one of the best teachers in the college. They want to know that you are a great teacher. They want to know that you are an inspirational person. They want to listen that all your students really love you. Are you really being loved? Have you asked this question? Have you ever asked the question that your students will really love you? Have you asked the question that your classrooms are very, very interesting? Have you ever asked the question that, will I sit in the same class? in which I am teaching? So these are all the critical questions you must ask when you ask the question, where do I come from? I'm not again asking the metaphysical question that who created you or whether you're evolved. Scientists say we all evolved from your parents, or parents from their parents from probably the primates, the apes. And metaphysics people say that we are created by supernatural. I'm not asking that. What I'm asking is, who is the father and mother, your relations, your wife and children, whether they know that you are a very, very special teacher. The question number 2. Question number 3, have you ever thought about what is my purpose? What is my purpose? Some people say we are born with a purpose. I really do not know, because I don't have any proof to say that I am born with a purpose. No. But I have proof that when we are born, after all, we are born, we can ourselves decide a purpose in our life. That is within our reach, within our capacity, is within our plan, whether we have a purpose. It's not already there in our brain or in our horoscope. No. Whether we have consciously decided the purpose in our life. A teacher can definitely have a great purpose in our lives. I'll tell you why you should have a great purpose in your life. Because you are very important. You are the real moving star. You are really the moving force in a school or a college. You are a very important person in the life of the students. I can tell you, my own life has changed in one day. And I am a police officer today for the last 32 years because of one college teacher. He told me, you too can become an IPS officer. And I am an IPS officer. One day, a life can change. This is Dr. K.K. Krishnamurthy, who lives in Coimbatore now, today. Me and few hundred other IAS and IPS officers owe our service to this country to him. One office, one teacher can change 1 million students. You are very, very important people. Therefore, you must ask this question, what is the purpose of my life? What is the meaning of my life? Next important question you must ask is, what am I doing? During this 50 days lockdown, I don't know what we have been doing. Whether we have completed reading 50 books, I don't know. Whether we have completed learning a new language, I don't know. Whether you are really a computer teacher, whether you learn few languages, computer languages, I don't know. Whether you wrote a book, I don't know. But the point is that the time is very, very precious. We are all going to live in this world of very, very, very few days. This is definite. There is evidence. You all know it's common sense. After 50 years, I'm not going to speak in a webinar like this. No. You're also not going to listen to this because we all will not be available in this whole world. In a short time, what am I doing in the morning till evening? Am I happy? Am I happy with what I'm doing? It's a very critical question that you ask at the end of the day. Early in the morning, what am I doing? I'm happy with what I am doing. I'm increasing my knowledge. I'm improving my skills. Am I really making use of the time, or I am misusing the time all the time? I'm gossiping, looking at the television, seeing the movie, and just wandering around, sleeping around. This is not going to help any professional, not only law teachers, lawyers, police officers, government servants, anybody. If he is squandering his valuable time, it's not possible for him to go to the next level, in your case, to be a great teacher. The last and most important question you should ask every day is that, where am I going? Where are I going? Do you have a direction? Do you have a destination? Are you in the right track? Are you in the right direction? It's very, very important. Where do you go? Why do you want to go? If you don't know where you want to go, you'll never go anywhere. At least you don't go to a place you want to go. You'll be in some other place. It's very critical, dangerous. So at this point in time, for every one of the teachers who's listening, I want to really tell you a fact. The fact that is recognized anywhere in the world in the higher education department or the whole world. They say any student has to have 5 important skills. A student of a college in the 21st century is supposed to possess 5 critical skills. If he does not have the skill, he may not be good enough for any job. These skills are the responsibility of a teacher, me and you, people who run the colleges, the correspondents, the principals, the lecturers, the staff, we have a great responsibility to build these 5 important skills. What are these skills? Anybody, anyone, every one of you know it. But this is also part of our Indian educational policy, national educational policy, incorporated almost all the 5 important skills. The most important skill, of course, is critical thinking. Critical thinking really is very, very special. Critical thinking skills is a basic skill for everybody, you and me. Albert Einstein said that education is not collection of facts. Collection of facts, anybody can do it. Education is the ability to think. As a teacher, you have the duty to make your students think, not simply to collect the facts. A critical thinker, a free thinking person, a person who can think the positive and negative side, a person who can think elaborately, freely, without any reservation. He has to be a free thinker. Number 2, the student should have a curiosity to learn. The student should be interested. If he's a student of science, he must be interested to know the cyclone, how a cyclone is formed, how can it move during the summer. The student should know what is the International Space Station, situated about 400 kilometers above the mean sea level. What do they do? How do they go? How do they come back? A science student, a biology student should know what is the coronavirus. Is it new? No, it's not at all new. Coronavirus was detected even 1950s. It was a long ago. First time a virus was found in a plant, tobacco mosaic virus. I remember it 35 years before in the college. Tobacco mosaic virus is a disease in tobacco. It's very common in clinical areas. So, yes, student of science should know about the virus, how it can really cause damage, how we can protect ourselves, and he must teach others. Curiosity, know more and more. If the students can be curious, there is no need to teach them. They will learn themselves. Our job is not to teach. Like Galileo said, I am not going to teach anything to anybody. I am only helping them to discover. Every college teacher can only help your student to discover. You are not the man in the center stage. Try to be a guide in the side. Let him learn. Provide the material. Create an interest. If you can create an interest in learning, you are a great teacher. If you fail to do that, it's not possible for him to acquire knowledge. The moment a person is interested, make students hungry. Make them hungry for knowledge. They will find it. Internet is a place to find information, knowledge, wealth of knowledge. Universities are there. Books, millions of books are there on the internet. Anything in the earth you want, you find it there. Make him get interested. One of the important skills you must develop in your students is communication skills. Communication. Communication means language, not only language. Communication means body language. Communication means a regular language and body language. Communication also means the interest a person shows. How much he wants to convey. It is an art. Communication is a science. First of all, a teacher has to be a great communicator. It's very, very critical that a teacher develops the art of communication over a period of time, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, but it takes a long time. To be a powerful communicator, let me assure you, you have to spend 10,000 hours. 10,000 hours to make you a powerful speaker, a powerful communicator. It will take a long time. 10,000 hours, spend it. It is worth. People listen. A lot of teachers complain, my students don't listen. In some colleges, when I course, some students really don't listen. They'll be talking among themselves. Because what we are going to say probably is not interesting to him. Probably we are not like the cinema artists, like a cinema people. They have the power of attraction. We should acquire that power of attraction. The moment we enter the classroom, students will be interested to listen to what we are going to say and what we are not going to say. Silence itself is power of communication. Silence is a powerful communication. So communication skills, you must very gradually learn. It's not a science. It will take time. You must read a lot of books on communication and practice them. Students will have power of communication. They should be curious. They should be critical thinking. Very important skill, because of which the human race has now ruling the whole world, is coordination and collaboration. Why we are powerful? Why we are able to even subjugate a lion, which is many more times than a human being. We are less powerful than elephants or chimpanzees, but all of them are in the zoos now, because human beings try to collaborate with each other. A man will bring a bring an arrow, another man will bring a poison, another man will bring a net, and 100 people go and catch a big animal like a lion or a tiger. So today, this program, this webinar, Ajit and Sedupati and his friends and the technology, so many people I don't even know are connected with making this program a success, 40-day program success. Hundreds of people are involved in this. We don't know each other, but we can cooperate. We can collaborate in a nice way. That is a specialty of the human beings. A teacher must know a student's capacity. A student cannot go on fighting with their own friends. He cannot go and harm his own relatives. He cannot be unfriendly. He must understand this quality of collaboration. You are supposed to develop. Can you do that? If you are a great teacher, you can do that. It requires special skill. The fifth most important, powerful skill a student should learn is creativity. Today's world is a changing world. Now we don't know how it is going to be in the future, whether the classrooms are going to be there or we are going to learn through webinar like this, or we are going to learn through some other technology. We don't know. The technologies are changing. Priorities are going to change. Some departments are going to be much more important in the future, like medicine. The health workers are going to be more important now in the society. Things are going, we don't know how the flying is going to be or transport is going to be. Maybe people may not even travel much in the future. Tourism, it's very, very uncertain. The fact remains that change is the only thing which is unchanging, which is permanent. Change is the most permanent thing in the world. So for the changing times, we have to be a creative person. You see the mobile phones, every year a new version is coming in the mobile phone. Have you seen that? So everything is new. Computers are new. Cars are getting newer. So every time things are in, a student has to be creative. Look at that. When this coronavirus issue came, many places people started inventing masks. People have started inventing how to wash your hands. People have started inventing different kinds of suits, technology. A lot of people are interested. It's good. It's good to see that they are creative. So as a professor, a teacher, you are going to have the 5 important skills to develop. How will you develop such skills? Is it possible for you to develop such skills in the students? It's possible if you become a great teacher. In fact, my next book is Good Teacher to Great Teacher. Good Teacher to Great Teacher, Apple publication. So I am trying to emphasize upon the fact that a teacher need not stay like that. Good teacher, he must go to the next level. The next level. I'm a sports person. I'm a cyclist. I cycle 50 kilometers, then I do 100 kilometers, I do 200 kilometers, 300 kilometers, 400 kilometers, and last March 15, I cycled continuously 600 kilometers in 40 hours. It can only go gradually, slow by slowly. Incremental improvement is only possible. Direct improvement is not at all possible. So it will take a long time. And what you have to do is, you should slowly graduate into a great teacher. William Arthur Ward said that a mediocre teacher, if you want to stay as a mediocre teacher will tell. A good teacher, he will explain to you a little more detail. You know, television people read news, telling it. It's only too much telling. Now, a good teacher will only explain. He can make an explanation like an advertisement. They'll explain how nice this product is, how nice the masala is. He will explain, somebody will explain. How nice my jewelry is. Explanation. 3, superior teacher. Superior teacher will demonstrate. He will show through a demonstration. He is a superior teacher. And the 4th, the most important teacher is a great teacher. He will inspire. My dear teachers, whoever is listening to this program, you shall try to be a great teacher. A great teacher is a person who can inspire others. Inspiration means that on seeing you, on hearing your words, on seeing your behavior, students will get interested. They just want to even imitate you. They want you to be their role model. Even though I don't know the concept of role model is good or bad, I don't know. But you are a hero. Who are your hero? I have a hero. I told you, Dr. K. Krishnamurthy, there are so many teachers who are my heroes even today. Last week, I got an SMS from my teacher, my college professor, Dr. U.A. Balasubramaniam. He just messaged, Shailendra Babu, your DP is getting nice, good. Only one sentence. You know, he was my teacher. The whole day I was thinking about him. The whole day is filled with so much happiness to me because he is a very important person. I don't even remember what he taught me, but I remember him. You know why? He is responsible for my completing my post-graduation in agriculture. I discontinued my MSc in agriculture because I got a job in the Indian Overseas Bank. My salary is much more than the salary of that professor. So I left for a bank job. But he called me, Sailendra Babu, your coursework is over, your research work is remaining. Please come. I told him, sir, I can't come. I'm working in a bank. I'm studying for the IAS examination. I'm not in 1 minute of time. He said, okay, don't worry. But after the examination is over, please come down. We'll work together. I will work with you. Come on, do your research work. And we'll write the thesis. Please come. I went there. He booked a room in the hostel and he stayed with me. He stayed late in the evening, 1 or 2 days. For 1 week, we wrote the thesis. And that is how I got a PG. That is how I got later become, I registered for a PhD. Dr. E. Balasubramaniam, sir, is great. One word, your DP, I don't know. It's a DP, somebody draw a picture of me and I put it in the DP. So the quality of appreciation, he's already retired, but he is appreciating his student. I'm also going to retire now. He is appreciating is one of the great quality of a great teacher. So the great teachers are the people who inspire. Dr. U. Balasubramaniam is an inspiration. I tell you, every one of the teachers, people may forget what you teach, but they will not forget you, what you are to them, where you have been kind to them, whether you have helped them, whether you have encouraged them, whether you have pointed out their great gifts. Education is the manifestation of the gifts already in the student. He may be a wonderful painter. He may be a wonderful orator. He may be a wonderful thinking person. Have you brought it out? So the personal touch, your personal touch of a student is what that man will remember till eternity. It's very, very important. Not simply going to the college, reading out some facts, and asking them that is not the work of a teacher. The work of a teacher is to inspire each and every one of the students. You are in a commanding position. It is a very great opportunity to inspire hundreds of people in a college. And in a later point in time, it is these men who will be business people, who will be running colleges, who will be running the government, who will be IAS and IPS officers, who are all educators. And they'll all remember you as a person. So to be a great teacher, I'll tell you, you don't have to really look for great teachers. History is full of great teachers. Civilization is full of great teachers. All our scientific discoveries are through great teachers. All our scientific thinking, our philosophy of the whole world rests upon great teachers who lived before us. It's enough you know about them. I will encourage every one of the teachers, please pay a visit. Please pay a visit to the great teacher. If you are interested, I will take you. I will introduce you to the best teachers in the world. Mahatma Gandhi will talk about non-violence to you. Nelson Mandela will talk about suffering to you. The Arnold Schwarzenegger will come and train you to how to build your body. Dalai Lama will come and tell you about spirituality. I can do that. You know, I have to only take you to the library. Or Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam will teach you about indomitable spirit. I can arrange that. I have to only take you to a small library and you can meet them. So if you talk about the ancient Rome, the beginning of civilization, 2,500 years, we have written history for that. Before that also we had great people like Confucius, Buddha. But before that also, 4,000 years before, 4,000 years before, the pyramids were already built in Egypt. But written history, Cicero, great Cicero. Seneca said, have you ever thought about it? All teachers, where does the happiness come from? Happiness, he says, comes from a contented mind. A contented mind alone gives you happiness. If you are happy with whatever you have whatever you want. So Seneca said that our happiness depends upon we are content and happy. If you are content with what you have, your children, your family, your parents, your own house, the college you are working, the students you are having, the kind of health you have, are you content with this? You are the happiest man in the whole world. 2,500 years. Confucius said, I like this Confucius, one of the greatest teaching of Confucius. He said, Instead of complaining about the darkness, you can see as a teacher, you'll be knowing most of the students will be always complaining. The world is not good. People are corrupt. People are drinking alcohol. Streets are not clean. All complaints. They'll tell all complaints. Whole community. Obviously, a lot of people complain all the time, criticizing other people, but they fail to see about themselves. So Confucius said, instead of complaining it is dark, it's better you light a lamp. You better light a lamp. Don't complain. There's no point. Nothing is going to happen. You can't simply complain your salary is less, or your professor is not okay, the college is not treating me well. No point. You change it. You are a change agent. Like Mahatma Gandhi said, policemen are the change agents. So what you are to do is whether it can be changed. Confucius, Socrates, Plato, the politic. He's a book written 2000 years ago. Aristotle. I love this man. Aristotle has talked about education. He said education is a jewelry in prosperity. Education is a refuge in adversity. Education is a provision in the old age. That means if you are very rich, education will make you a nice person, better person, a lot of jewelry on your body. If you are poor, education can really help you. It can support you, the refugee. And in the old age, you're old, going to die. It will give you food. It will put food on your table. Education. Aristotle has told that. Now we don't have to go to other countries at all. We have Buddha. He says your life is purely based on what you are thinking. I saw critical thinking. Good thinking, good habits, good action, good relationship. This food, good food, these things make a good life. And if you are greedy, it's very bad. A greedy person can really meet with a lot of suffering. Be a happy person, content person, and your life will depend upon what you are thinking. From now onwards, every teacher, think in line of your education, think in line of your students' future, think in line of the 5 different skills you are supposed to give to the student. Always, that will help you because you have to find purpose in your life. So we don't have to go to other countries or ancient Greek, or we need not go to European countries. We cannot see our own country. In European countries, some kind of a thinking has changed in the medieval period. 500 years before, Thomas Locke, James Locke, Thomas Paine, Emerson, or Thoreau, or Karl Marx, or Jefferson, or Abraham Lincoln, or Voltaire. These are all the great philosophers, thinkers who caused this French Revolution and subsequent, but we don't have to go all the way to find out the change of the philosophy of people. India, we have great people. We have very great people like Buddha. We have great scholars in our own country who have led us in the freedom struggle. We also have, great teachers like Thiruvalluvar. I don't know how many of you listening from other than Tamil Nadu, but let me tell you, great treasure of knowledge is hidden here itself in our own country. Thiruvalluvar has mentioned about education. Do you know what he has said? He said, எண்ணென்ப ஏனை எழுத்தென்ப இவ்விரண்டும் கண்ணென்ப வாழும் உயிருக்கு. That means the education, the letters, the numbers are like 2 eyes for a person. Very short verse, but how meaningful it is. You can do a research in words and numbers. You can go to the space with words and numbers. You can become a great teacher with the words and number. If you're a master of words and number, you can clear the MBA examination, CAT examination. If you're great in words and numbers, you can clear IAS examination. If you're good in words and numbers, you can become the world's greatest programmer. It's possible. You have to master the words. Words have meaning. Every word has a meaning. Every number has a meaning. We think through the words and number only. This is what Thiruvalluvar knew 2000 years before. He said it's like our eyes. He has many verses, all the 10 verses that you know, but it's not the time. Our ancestors 2000 years before, he said, there is another very important teacher, Kaniyan Pungundan. Kaniyan Pungundan, he said, Yadum Ure, Yavarum Keli. He says, any village is my village. United States, UK, Australia, everywhere. For human being, the whole world is his native place. We can go anywhere. We can travel anywhere. He's a global citizenship. He's a great visionary. Teedum nandum pirar taravara. He says, your misery and your blessings don't come from others. We create our own blessing. We create our own misery. We are the prime cause. If we are not a great person, if you are not a great inspirational teacher, we are responsible. Not your management is responsible. Not your father is responsible. Not your mother is responsible. They may not be even educated. They may not know about literature, science, or geography, or the history of mankind. They may not know, but we know it. We studied in the colleges. We should know it. So any good or any bad is not the creation of other people. Yes, other people may create bad things. As I said, Viktor Frankl in his book, Search for Meaning in Life, he says he saw in the camp when millions of people died, thousands of people died, there will be good people and bad people. He says there will be decent people and indecent people. Decent people will always be decent. They will not harm other people. They will not steal from the other people. But indecent people, equal number will be there. Indecent people, they will grab from you. They will not, in a crisis like this, indecent people may not pay salary to their own workers. Decent people, even if the situation, their profit is less, from whatever profit they already earned, they will give to the workers. Decent people. Indecent people are greedy people. You will find them everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. You will see them everywhere. What are you going to do? So that's what Kaniyan Punkunan says. Nandum Teedum Nandum Piradharavara. He is now come to something very, very important. I love this stanza. Periyore Biyathalum Ilame. Siriyore Ilital Adaninum the meaning is, I come again. Periyore Biyathal Ilame. Siriyore Ilital Adaninum Ilame. That means to the rich and powerful people, if you unnecessarily appreciate them, that's bad. It's bad. Whereas to degrade poor people, unfortunate people, to degrade them, it is still worse than you praising people who are powerful and a lot of money. So 2,500 years before, teachers have defined morality. People have defined a society's good and bad. People have learned about science. People ask questions if the earth is round or flat. Plato asked. Socrates asked. Aristotle asked. Ptolemy asked. Jyotirmay Brunei asked. These are all teachers. Teachers are scientists. Teachers are philosophers. Teachers have changed the course of history. Teachers have a great hand in the civilization of humanity. So when great people are there for you to know, when great people have given you the direction as teachers, what a teacher has to do. A teacher has to only listen to great teachers. The teacher has to only know about these great people who have lived on the earth. A teacher must really be worried about his reputation. Please make a note in your diary. If you have a diary, reputation. You have to build a reputation. How will you build a great reputation? Like the way I told the ancient teachers, the medieval teachers. Even today, recently, Swami Vivekananda, one of the greatest teachers, we are reading his books. One of the greatest teachers. My Eternal India. Look at the book and read the book. Mahatma Gandhi, My Experiment with Truth. Jawaharlal Nehru, glimpse of world history. He's a historian, a free-thinking person. B.R. Ambedkar, read the books. So there are people, great thinkers, whether you like them or not, listen to them, read them. So to be a great teacher, from a good teacher, it's a long journey, and the journey itself will be a great joy. How will you go in this journey? Let me tell you, the only way to become a great teacher, to be very crisp and short, is to become a lifelong learner. Every one of you, start your journey of life with a commitment to learning everything new every day, a new information, a new skill, a new technique, a way of expression, new way of learning and knowing about your important people, customers, your students. Try the psychology of students. Students are very, very, very craving for recognition. You must look at them in their eyes. You must tell their names. You do respect them. And more importantly, as our own earlier teacher said, you just treat them the same way you want others to treat you. Confucius said, please do not do to others what you do not want others to do to yourself. So treat the people the same way you like others to treat you. Let me tell you, many college students come to your college to learn. Those who are treated well in their houses, they come to the college to learn. Those who are not treated well in their houses, they come to the college for recognition, for love and affection. If the love is not coming from the college teacher, they will go with their friends. They'll go anywhere they want to go, where they are recognized. So love your students and recognize them, identify their talents. Many places, people got out of their slumber because their teacher told him that they are great. Because their teacher told him it's possible for you to do it. Dr. E. Balasubramanian told me, you can complete your MSc Agri. When this teacher is telling me, that means probably I have the ability to manage this also, my job, my AAS preparation, even Saturdays and Sundays, it's possible for me because he is showing the way. Therefore, we'll just sum up. I'll say these tough times are not going to last, but as a teacher, tough teacher, we are going to last. As an opportunity, make use of the opportunity, try to build your capabilities, your knowledge, your other skills, your love for the teaching, and love for the students. And when you go back when the college opens, you'll be a new person, completely rewired to check on the big challenge of giving the students different skills. Number 2, ask basic questions: who you are, where are you coming from, what are your talents, what is the purpose in your life, and where are you going? Every minute of your life is a living moment. It's very important. Every moment you can make improvement. Every moment of your life is good. It may be painful. It may be a failure. It may be a time when you don't have the job. Doesn't really matter. But that moment also counts. After asking this question, you try to know what is the priority for a college teacher. The college teacher is a very great responsibility of making a student a thinking student, making a student a curious student. Your responsibility to instill in a student a capability to communicate, to collaboration, communication, critical thinking, curiosity, different skills that he must learn, and it is a responsibility. And open your eyes and look at the great people through which you have now inherited the profession, the job of teaching. Look at the great people like Thiruvalluvar Kaniyan Poongunda, or the great writers like Ilango, like Shakespeare. Shakespeare says the most important thing: be more truthful. It's very important. We should be always truthful. If you don't know, we can always say, sorry, my dear children, sorry, my dear students, I really don't know. There's nobody in this whole world who knows everything. Shakespeare says that be truthful to one's own self. Be truthful. Be truthful to your own self. Then, as the day follows the night, nobody will be false. No, you will not be false to anybody. If you really tell the truth, like the day after night comes, then nobody will find you as a false person. Be a truthful person. That's very, very important. So, great people, read them, listen to them. Now, books are available, and it's possible for you to become a great teacher from the status of the good teacher. The only condition, and my conclusion is, any teacher can become a great teacher if that teacher becomes a lifelong learner. I encourage every one of you to be a learner, spend a lot of time in reading, in writing, listening to the speeches of great people. Albert Einstein, one of the great speakers and a great scientist, he says, as far as the students is concerned, respect them for their talents. He says, if you judge a student based on his other qualities, it is like if you judge a fish based on its ability to climb trees, that the fish will think that it is not at all talented, and it will die thinking it's a damn big fool. No, Every student will have a different set of skills, knowledge. Identify them, encourage them, because we don't want everybody to be a teacher. We don't want everybody to become doctor. We can't have everybody as IAS officers. There has to be people who are business people. There has to be people who are running restaurants. We need people in various fields. We need thinkers, motivational speakers. We want people in the government in various fields, and these talents are there with these students. So I will encourage you to graduate yourself to be a great teacher. We need to have fans club for teachers in the colleges. It's possible. It's possible. When film actors can have fans club, why not a teacher who tells a better story, more interesting story of mankind, more interesting story of science and technology and history and geography and commerce and management. These are much more interesting stories. Hear the stories, tell the stories. In the end, I'll tell you, every one of you is a storyteller. Have a lot of stories in your heart. Tell them convincingly. Be a great teacher. Be a learner. Thank you very much for this grand opportunity. We'll meet somewhere sometime. Before I end up my speech, I will encourage every one of you, please wash your hands in soap and use the disinfectant often. And wear a mask when you come out of the house. Don't ask the policemen to come and tell you that you're a mask. Wear a mask all the time when you come out of the house. This will help you. This new normal, this is what the word they are using. The new normal is wearing a mask. Wear a mask. Right now there is nobody here. It's my office, so I'm not wearing a mask. When you go out, wear a mask, face mask. This is the way to fight coronavirus. That is how we should live in the new normal era. We don't know how long it's going to last. I like to express my thanks for every one of the teachers who listened to this conversation. It's a conversation, a lot of questions. So I'm really grateful. I don't know. You must have really stayed for more than 45 minutes. So I really like to thank every one of you shown in this dialogue. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, there are a few questions. Can I put forward the questions to you, sir?
Oh, yes, please, Ajit. Please carry on.
So the first question is from Dr. C. Balakrishnan, Assistant Professor from Sri Krishna College. Okay. Very proud to listen to your speech.
Okay.
Question, how can we give training for students to write civil service examinations simultaneously studying their degree course?
Exam is purely based on the general knowledge. General knowledge is the most important part of it. So what they can do is, you can tell the student to read the newspapers regularly and build their knowledge on various subjects like economy, like science, like ecology, environment. So let them build that knowledge. This will help. Number two, whatever subject they are studying now, let them study it thoroughly, very well. Most of the times, questions will come probably from the what subject they studied also. Let them also try to get a university degree and try to get a university first rank. That is because this will give them enormous confidence. An IAS candidate should be very, very confident. Okay, I am the best in the country. I can defeat the best student in the IIT or All India Institute of Medical Sciences. So that confidence will come only when he is a university rank holder. So newspapers, studying subjects properly, try to be a university rank holder, try to participate in all competitions, like quiz competitions. Try to participate in the quiz competitions in the town. That's these four things.
Thank you, sir. So the next question is from Dr. V. Ramachandran, Sri Saraswati College, Tyagaraja College, Pollachi. Sir, your inspiring address to our students last year is evergreen in our memories. Sir, can you please recall your favorite teacher during your childhood? Why was it so?
Okay, I had a lot of great teachers in my school because I studied in the government school. In that government school, I had a lot of classmates who were all children of teachers. I think you are also a son of a teacher, right? Ajit, your mom was a teacher.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, sir. My mom was a teacher, sir.
Your mom was a teacher, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. But a lot of my classmates are children of teachers, but I was not a son of a teacher. So, but then my teachers have taken special care about me, not because I study well. Actually, I never studied well till 7th class. Okay. And a teacher came in my life, Sadananda Valli teacher. She has completely transformed me. One whole year I was the topper because of her. Then Dr. Mr. Ramasamy, my teacher. So these are all the Ramasamy teacher, then Lalita teacher, then Jasmine teacher who taught me mathematics. I was very, very poor in mathematics, even now. But I was the topper in mathematics in my school because of Jasmine teacher. So it's all because of the love. It's not that they taught me bad. No. The way they looked at me, the way they gave importance to me. That's the one which has moved. So whoever has given me importance, they call me by name, Shailendra Babu. They were interested in me. One day I just was writing something. I used to read Hindu newspaper. So I was just writing something, an answer, and Ramasamy sir came and told me, Shailendra Babu, this is correct. Active voice, passive voice. You are exactly correctly. How did you do that? Even I will not taught you this. Nobody has written, sir, I read newspapers, English newspaper. That's why, okay, very nice. He took the paper, showed all the students. That day, my life has changed. I tell you, my teachers, students crave for recognition. They want love from you. They don't want your subjects seriously. So love them. My teachers loved them. So I consider them as great. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So this is a question from Abhirami. She is an assistant professor from Erode Arts and Science College, Erode. Sir,
okay,
in your life, who is the great teacher for your success? Is it your experience or knowledge of the subject? Is it your experience or knowledge of the subject?
Okay, yeah. Of course, I have mentioned the name of few teachers. Many teachers, I have not mentioned their names. I found even excellent teachers, who I have not mentioned actually. In the college, I have found brilliant teachers. They know everything, and yeah, a lot of respect for them. No, yes, a lot of respect for them because they're the best in the particular field. But they are not inspired us. They have not inspired me because there is no personal touch. So there are a lot of teachers, everything. Without that, you can't even, that's a basic thing. But then beyond that, there's a lot of other requirements. Your attitude towards the student is very, very important. Your love for children is very, very important. You are trying to find a meaning in every one of the classroom is very, very important. Yes, knowledge is important. Love for the student is equally important. There are a lot of teachers. Probably one day when I write a book, I will recollect all my great teachers who have really shaped my own life.
The next question is from Mr. Mailsamy. He is assistant professor from Department of Commerce, PG, Konganadu Arts and Science College, Coimbatore. Is this COVID period, all students are passing their time by online classes as well as games? Whether is it possible to make students hungry to learn after the COVID period?
Yes, it's possible. They also must be bored now. I'm very sure students are eagerly looking forward to the opening of the college. By the time they would really realize the importance of college, classroom, friends, teachers, the story that is being told in the classrooms, their books, and more importantly, their future. They will be really, really worried about their future. They also know that learning is earning. If you don't know, if you don't have the skills, you are not going to get a job. It's going to be extremely difficult. Overseas jobs are shrinking. Gulf countries, UK, US, it's going to be very, very tough. Unless you know how to do, it's not possible to get a decent job. It's not possible to get a house and rent. It's not possible to buy the grocery for the house. It's not possible to admit your children in the college and school. They know it. I think they should be really, really worried. So I am very sure that they will be running into your arms for education. Yeah.
I'll just take 3 more questions only, sir. 3 more questions. Okay. This is Abdul Razak from CMS College of Commerce. Sir, my question is, what are the parameters to evaluate a good teacher? And one more, sir, please imagine God gave you 2 options. One for in the teaching profession and another one is IAS. Which one is he going to select? Which one is you going to select, sir?
Okay, I have lived a long life in the police department, so there's no point now in saying that I will select something. I'm extremely happy to be a police officer. My life has been great, satisfied. I'm satisfied. I am contented, very much contented with this job. The people of the country, the government have been extremely kind to make me an officer, and I am extremely happy. I will continue to be a police officer. But then I had the opportunity to train people in the police department itself. I was the principal of the police recruit school many times. I have trained hundreds of policemen in my life career. I had the opportunity because of people like you during my leisure time, called me to the schools and colleges. I met more than 600,000 students. I have the written statements, written feedback from about 200,000 students in my life, in my house. I have connected with more than 1 million students in my website, www.sailendrababu.com. I trained them for the IAS exam. My students are collectors, my students are commissioners in various states in India. So I also happen to be a teacher. I think I would like to be a police officer. Same way, I would like to be a teacher whenever I find time. So if an opportunity is given once again, I will certainly join as police officer. Yes. And in my hobby, even in the IAS exam, they'll ask a question in the interview, what is your preference, IAS, IPS? Number 2 question, what is your hobby? My hobby is training, not teaching. No, I don't want to be a teacher. I want to be a trainer. I don't want to be in the center stage. I want to be in the side and encourage students to learn. So I'm only a trainer. I will always like to be a trainer.
So next question is, sir, from Dr. Anand Lakshmi. She is from VLB Janival College, Coimbatore. Very informative and interesting session, sir. Sir, what is the inspiring point from BSc Agri to IPS?
Nothing much. Actually, agriculture is a very, very, very vast subject. It has with a lot of subjects you cannot even imagine. Agriculture has psychology. Agriculture has economics. Agriculture has pure science like botany, zoology, soil science, chemistry, physics. It's a medicine. Will you believe? Agriculture has a subject called medicine, animal medicine. Agriculture is engineering subject. Agriculture engineering. It's a very vast subject. But then, if you're interested in going for a specialization like breeding, plant breeding and genetics, you can even go graduate and go and do research in coronavirus. Agriculture is a very, very vast subject. But since my interest was lying in the police service, government service, I came out. But maybe one day, I'll certainly do agriculture.
Okay.
One day, I'll certainly do agriculture, yes.
So the next question is from Dr. N. Ramu. He is an associate professor in management, IFIM College, Bangalore. Respected sir, in modern education system, why life skill and lifestyle is essential to the students' community?
Okay, now why life skill is important? Just imagine a situation, the company is looking for people who can ride a bicycle, okay? The company is advertising, okay, please come people who can ride bicycle, we are going to give a job. Okay, one student has come to the college, he has gone through the bicycle course. In the bicycle course, the first class is history of bicycles. Second class, the part of bicycles. Number 3, the dynamics of bicycles. Number 4, the science of bicycles. Number 5, the uses of bicycles. That's all. The class is over. The next day examination, they all passed the examination with 95% of marks. Lifestyle and life skill. Do you think this student will get the job there? He will not be able to cycle. He can't swim. He can't ride. He can pilot a jet plane. That's why lifestyle is very important, because a student should be able to do a job. Simple. If he's simply going to theoretical classes and totally irrelevant materials, and if you conduct an examination like a bicycle, part of bicycle, history of bicycles, uses of bicycle, dynamics of bicycle, science of bicycle, but don't know how to ride a bicycle, then you will not get a job. You will not be useful now. But of course, he has to learn it there. Of course, then it's a different question. So lifestyle and life skill today, more than any point in time in the whole history, is important because there is competition. There is competition from people of China, South Korea, Japan, America, New Zealand, Australia, whole of Europe. So how you are going to compete for the world positions, world leadership? As a college student, you must think of the world leadership, a job in the international company. You must think of giving job to other people. You are a graduate. 20 crore people are below poverty line. You have to help them. Millions of people can't find food. Educated people like you and me must feed them. So we should become powerful people through our lifestyle and life skill. Yes.
So last question, sir. So this is Captain K. Sendil Kumar. He's a retired and he's the Chief Executive of DJ Academy for Managerial Science, Coimbatore. Thank you, sir, for your wonderful inspirational speech. I hail from Dharmapuri, and as a student in 1980s, you have been my role model. You were the SP of Dharmapuri district then.
1990, yeah.
Please share us, how do you self-motivate yourself when you go through tough times?
Okay, how do I motivate? I'll say my own ideology, my own thinking, my own right and wrong, my own what is more important, what is less important, my own philosophy, life policy. I told you, you must take a decision to be a great teacher. So it is my own thinking that motivates. It is my own reading that motivates. It's my own listening to the best speech in the whole world that is motivating. It is my own commitment to the society, to my family, to the country, to my department, to the students I love more. So these are the things which motivates me. This is the thing responsible for me waking up early in the morning at 4 o'clock. So it's my thinking. Change your thinking, your life will change.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Nearly 1,000 participants have listened to your motivational speech, sir. I would request the Secretary of the Association, Mr. T. Sedupati, to propose the vote of thanks.
Okay. Please thank all the 1,000 listeners. Listening is a great art. Okay.
Thank you, sir. I request Sedupati sir to propose the vote of thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, Sedupati is nice. Sedupati helped a very, very poor child in my school where I studied. Thank you, Sedupati, for that.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Sailendra Babu. This session was amazing. And in fact, we were waiting to go through these thrilling moments right from the time you have accepted to participate in our webinar. Our great teachers will remember you as the greatest teacher. You have made it, sir. I thank you.
Okay.
I thank you sincerely on behalf of thousands of participants who are gathered here. Thank you very much. Thank you.
When I come to Coimbatore, we'll go and visit my own inspirational teacher, Dr. K.K. Krishnamurthy.
Yes, KK.
He's living in Coimbatore.
Dr. KK.
Yes, Dr. KK.
He's
a teacher.
Yeah, Dr. UAB was my teacher in extension, sir.
Okay, same college. Okay, yeah, absolutely.
And also, I thank all the participants who have given their time and made your genuine participation over here. I thank you very much. I thank one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Over to President.
My dear participants, thank you for your time. The feedback form will be shared shortly. I request all the participants to fill the feedback form, which is shared in your chat box. Tomorrow, the first session will be handled by the Dr. Nirmala. She is the principal of Krishnamal College of Arts and Science. The next session will be handled by Dr. Rupa Gunaseelan. She is the professor and head of management department, Bharathiar University. I request all the participants to come. Today we have got an excellent participation of 1,000+ participants. It's great to see so many participants. We hope and pray that you will continue to support ASF-ASM and PWC in all the activities for improving the higher education of Bharathiar University. I also thank all the office bearers of the ASF-ASM who have come today in the panel. I also thank the executive committee members, the PWC office bearers, the members of PWC, and above all the participants who have participated in this session. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.